All right, yo, better than before. I'm going to be in the car for this one. I'm going to just be recording and talking about some stuff that's been recently going on my Nofap journey as I drive home from my little midday shift here. So right now I've been doing some gig work. I think that's something that for a lot of us could actually be really helpful, because I know that the job market's like a little bit weary. I know that they say that there's job shortages, but like, do you really want the jobs that have shortages, you know? So I find that like being able to drive around and work on my own schedule and work on my own financial goals is a lot easier for me. It kind of fits my personality a little bit better. I kind of like being around a lot. Like I like the fast paced. I like being on my own time and, kind of playing the game a little bit. We got a fucking retard here on the road. But anyway, I basically just want to talk about some of the things that's been going on in my journey. And, I really want to get more consistent at making videos. So I'm going to be challenging myself as of today for the next 30 days, just 30 days, to do one video every single day. And the next 30 days is going to be really special for me. You see, over the past year, I've moved away from home, which was Long Island, New York, and I've moved to South Carolina. So obviously the lifestyle change is a lot different with that. And I've been here for a little bit over a year. And I was doing really good on my Nofap journey before I moved. And I decided to move. I decided to take the plunge, and I decided to try to make something happen on my own. And, I'm just coming to find that I don't know if I necessarily belong here at this time in my life. So in a couple weeks, actually 2 weeks from today, I'm going to be moving back to Long Island, and I cannot wait. I'm going to be pursuing some really awesome hobbies and interests of mine. I'm going to be working on building a business with my best friend, and it's going to be fucking awesome. And there's been this kind of like existential dread of being alone while I've been down here. I've been obviously away from a lot of my major friends, major family. I do have some family down here, and I've made some friends down here since I've been here, but it just feels like there's this huge lack of purpose. And I think that there's a big reason as to why I've had a struggle in the dating world. The most amount of struggle I've ever had in dating ever has been when I moved, and my porn use is definitely up. It's not like a habit like it used to be, obviously, but there's definitely cravings and urges like I've never gotten before, and I've slipped up here and there a few times. And so when you are having that problem happen a lot, like if you're someone that's kind of slipping up a lot, you're kind of dealing with loneliness, you're kind of dealing with a lack of purpose, you really gotta ask yourself what your environment is doing to you. I think this is a really important thing. You could be doing all of the right things, but if you're not in the right place with the right people, you can't really make anything happen, Sometimes it just is going to negatively affect your mood in a very strange way that negatively impacts the way that you want to live your life. And that's a really important thing that you have to understand from this Nofap thing, because obviously this Nofap thing is like the entry level into a portal of self-improvement where you're trying to create the best life for yourself. You're trying to create a life that you want to actually live, okay? A life where you wake up in the morning and you don't want to stay in bed and continue to sleep. And I've really been having that a lot as of recently, especially like over the past few months. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you might know that I've been suffering from a stomach condition called, I've mentioned it before, it's called gastritis. It's when the stomach lining is inflamed. Your body doesn't produce enough mucus to counteract the amount of acid that it produces, and it winds up putting you in a situation where your stomach becomes inflamed, and that causes a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, a lot of nausea, and just overall acid reflux and just overall fatigue in general. And it's been absolute fucking hell. And recently, I've been doing a lot of research on gastritis and have been trying to connect myself to other people that have been dealing with gastritis. And I've been able to kind of find a lot of things that have been helping my symptoms. And it's really fucking awesome, because honestly, like the past couple of nights, I've felt for the first time I'm no longer driving. I've been feeling really comfortable lately. Like in the past couple nights, I've actually gotten like a good night of sleep, and I haven't had a nice restful night in weeks. So that's been great. And because of that, I'm definitely starting to think more clearly, and I'm really looking forward to making this decision of actually moving back home and, you know, pursuing things that I actually really want to pursue. And so I kind of wanted to share that thing that's kind of coming around on my life, because it might positively impact yours as well. I think especially for those of us that are in very low populated areas, like if I'm in South Carolina, like obviously compared to what I'm used to in Long Island, New York, it's go, go, go. There's people fucking everywhere, and there's opportunity everywhere when it comes to that. And, you know, unfortunately, when you're in a place that's like a little bit more down south, or you might be in a different area of the world that's a little bit less saturated with people and opportunity, then you really got to ask yourself, what is it that you want to do? And you need to get yourself around the people and around the area that you need to be, that's going to actually help you pursue that goal. Because if you never do, then you're always going to be facing this dread every single day where you don't have nothing to do. So like, there's this great book. It's called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. I'm pretty sure the audiobook is free right on YouTube. So I highly advise that you guys start to listen to that, because I think that there's a lot of worry and dread that's going to correlate to possible slip-ups or possibly failing in the transition of the Nofap lifestyle. And, you know, it's really important for us to be able to handle that. And so in this book, the idea of the book is that the more that you kind of just sit around and not pursue the things that you want to pursue, the more that you're going to be worried and stressed out. And the more active that you are, the more that you're actively doing things that are in the pursuit of your goal, the less worried that you feel. And there's something freeing about actually putting the work in. Now, the thing is that you might be somebody who is 100% willing to put in the work, as I am. I'm 100% willing to put in any work that I need to do in order to pursue my goal. But if the work is not available to you because of your environment, then you're ultimately going to fail based on things that are outside of your control. And this is a really important thing that you gotta try to pay attention to when you're on your self-improvement journey, is when you do fall off the ladder, when you do stray from the path, is it due to something that was in your control, or was it due to something that is outside of your control? Now, there's also a great book by Jocko Willink called Extreme Ownership. And it's this idea that anytime something bad happens to you, you have to take the blame entirely for yourself. And I think that's a great concept, but I think it can lead to some confusion if you don't know how to actually manage that exact thought process. So as an example, if something happens to you that causes you to feel some sort of extra emotional arise in you, and you 100% start to take the blame, like let's say you slip up and you watch some porn and you jerk off, and you know, you start to feel really bad, you know, oh, I'm taking ownership, I'm blaming myself, I can't believe I did that, blah, blah, blah. You kind of go through that little mini story in your head. Well, then you're ultimately just beating yourself up, right? But if you say to yourself, well, okay, well, the actual idea of taking that ownership is to say, okay, well, what made this happen? Why did this happen? And when you look at that, is it because something like, hey, you know, I should have went to the gym today and I should have worked out to kind of repel or get rid of that extra energy that has been charged up? Or is it because of something that is completely out of your control? Okay, maybe a family member passed away, or maybe there's a job opportunity that your area just doesn't have, but it's something that you really want to do. Well, then you have to take ownership in the way a little bit differently. So obviously if you take ownership, like, okay, I need to go to the gym, I need to become more disciplined, I need to start exercising and working out more. That's something that's in your control. But something that might be outside of your control is maybe you're dealing with an injury, okay? And then taking the ownership would be trying to work around that injury, taking the ownership of something like wanting to pursue a job that maybe your area doesn't provide that much. Taking the ownership would be, well, then I need to start talking to people in different areas, and I need to figure out where else I need to go. So every single day there needs to be this constant state of action. You need to be taking steps towards your goal every single day. And if you're not doing that, then you need to understand why you're not doing it. Because I think a lot of us can really beat ourselves up and say, well, I'm being lazy, I'm being unmotivated, blah, 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 all this stuff. But is the reality that maybe where you are, like geologically, and the people that are around you, maybe that's what's actually stopping you from doing what you want to do? Maybe you're not lazy and unmotivated, but maybe the area that you're in just doesn't provide you with the substance that you need to pursue that goal that you want to pursue. So that's kind of been the thing that's really been on my mind recently. And ever since I've made the decision that I'm going to be moving, it's like this clarity has been released in my head. Like, I feel really good about the decision. Like, you know you're on the right path when you have this feeling like, this is where I need to be. And there's nobody that can tell you anything different. It won't even get into you. You're just like, I feel in everything, a part of every cell of my body and my heart and my brain and my thought process, that this is what I need to be doing, and this is exactly where I need to be. I wouldn't want to be or do anything else. So that's the thing that I want you guys to start thinking about as I pursue through this journey. I want you guys to take the same steps in your journey so we can all be better than before. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on with the rest of my day. I hope you guys enjoyed, you learned something, and I'll catch you guys next time.